Hello, I'm Micks Mowers and Merman and welcome to my channel. In today's video I picked up a rather nice looking Webb lawnmower off of eBay, and the bloke said to me that he's confirmed it has no spark. So he said it doesn't start, it's got no spark, therefore it's a spares or repair machine. So I said I'll get it done. What do you think, Pip? We'll fix the lawnmower today? That'd be good. So today we're going to get the sit down. We're going to get the Webb lawnmower in the garden. Webb lawnmower in the garden, and then we'll try and fire it up. Now I haven't touched it, I haven't done anything to it at all, nothing whatsoever. Just got it out of the van, put it on the old lawn, and then we'll see what we can do. Hopefully it can be a simple fix. Now I have had one of these Webbs before, and they do have little issues. Sometimes it's valve issues, and that's why we don't like to start. But hopefully we'll get this machine up and running quick sharp, and if we do, that'll be golden. If this is your first time watching Micks Mowers and Merman, hit the subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all, that way you'll be told next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Let's go out in the garden, fire up this Webb lawnmower, see what it's doing, and if we can in this video, we get it fixed. Come on, Pip. Just like that.
Right, before we get on though, I have had a bit of a tidy up this week because Mrs. P and Nana were saying to me, "Oh, the garden looks a mess, blah 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 blah." So I've had a good old tidy up. That's what's been tied up here. Nana, what are you up to? You're doing your washing. We had the hot tub out because it was Nana's birthday the other week, wasn't it, Nana? It was your birthday, wasn't it, darling? How old was you? 78 years old young. So I've now put a nice fence up down here, but the deal is, right, the deal is, and this is the shocker, is that they're not allowed to go past this part of the fence. So this is theirs, that's mine. And that washing line now, that bit there, that's mine. Nana, you're getting quite close to my side of the washing line here, sweetheart. Well, can't have that. So we've had a bit of a tidy up, just because it does tidy the old lawn up a touch, but more presentable. I'm going to put another gating down here. A fence panel swinging gate opens up. I tie that bit up, and the same mat in there. But no, it's looking good. Took me all day, did it all by myself. You would have thought my mate Pete would come and give me a hand, wouldn't you? But he didn't turn up. So let's just get sorted out here. Little Webb lawnmower, there it is there, next to the two Hayes, which I'm currently doing videos on at the moment as well. So this is as it turned up. Done nothing to it, right? Nothing to it at all. Come here, Pip. Good girl. What's this here? It's a lawnmower thing. Good girl. So a bit of fuel in there. Now I've done nothing to it. Let's see what we get. We've got a throttle and a dead man. Throttle and a dead man. That's kind of cool. So is that dead man linked to that? Throttle will go onto there. Just having a suss out here because sometimes on these they have a separate switch. Here they do. So you can actually turn the lawnmower off by turning the throttle off as well, I think. So onto full throttle, which will also be choke. Pull the dead man in. Give it a pull. See what it does. Right, so it starts. He said no spark. Let's take it off a choke. Oh, well, look. Right, don't like to idle. Got a bit of a carb. What's going on here? Don't you love it when people sell lawnmowers because they don't work? Does drive work? Yeah, drive work. Okay. Right. So I'm not really quite sure what's going on here, guys. Really, I ain't. And this isn't rigged, right? I don't do rigged videos. But what I will say is the fuel. It turned off. Turn it on. Turn the fuel on. What's occurring then? He said to me, "Don't start." I didn't even try it when I got there. It was a cheap mower. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. You know I didn't because I don't, right? I never do. So why did he sell me a mower with no spark? He said no spark. That's his exact words. No spark. Let that fuel run down a bit then. It was hunting a bit, and I want it. Onto choke again. God, I've got some compression. Hi, Bobby. Right. Choke off. Right, hunting and surging. Right, now watch this, right? I'm now going to close the throttle down. Right, so that now is a throttle close. Now if I try and start that, yeah, no start. Open that one up. Right, that was my neighbour Bob. Want to have a quick chat with me. Lovely old boys. Right, I think I've come to the conclusion. I know what's up with it. Nothing, other than the carburetor does want to clean. But this machine has got two micro switches on them, two dead man's handle cut-off switches. It's got one on the dead man's handle here that we all know and love, and it's also got another one on the throttle control. So that is all the way back is choke, full throttle, idle, turn the machine off. And I'll show you where the switch is in a bit because I've got to clean the carburetor up. But for argument's sake, put it onto choke. In fact, put it on just onto half throttle. Okay, pull the dead man in. This machine will fire up. Okay. Although it's hunting and surging, if I let go of the dead man's handle, the machine will stop. But if I pull it in again, fire it up, but now shut the throttle down, it does exactly the same thing. Now just to confirm that, if I now pull the dead man's handle in but leave that down, not only will the machine not start, but it will give you a no spark appearance, which means the spark plug is not sparking, right? Because the micro switch has been closed off. So has this gentleman sold me a cheap little power drive lawnmower, all because either he didn't pull the handle in or pull the lever up? What do you think? Let's get it up on the bench, let's get it all cleaned off, and we'll get the carburetor clean, because it is hunting and surging, and you know, you can't do anything with a hunting and surging lawnmower. Let's get it all cleaned up and we'll go from there. So fuel tap was turned off, it all runs, hunts and surges, but I think he had that throttle control all the way down, and that's why I didn't want to start. Right, in the old shed, let's get a bit of light on the old subject, see what we're doing. Tip that round there like that. Lovely job. Right, so plenty of light on the old subject. Now, remember what I said to you about micro switches? But this has in fact got two. Let me spin this lawnmower around and I'll show you in fact, I'll turn it around, right, and then I'm going to take off the recoil. Right, that'd be easier. I'm going to grab a 10mm. This is why, people, you should always read your instructions. That's an 11, that's a 10. But I dare say in the user guide instructions, this wouldn't actually tell you it's got two. What's that? That's a 9. That's a 9. That must be a 10 there. All right, the sockets are around the wrong way. What's going on here? I've got two 11s here. That must mean I've got two 10s in the other one. I have. All right. You don't live there. You live there. Just sort my sockets out. 2 seconds, guys. I've got two sets of small sockets here. Right, 10mm. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Now he said he actually put a new recoil on this machine, right? Okay, so undo your fuel cap. Boom, take that cover off. Boom, get rid of that for now. I might spray that black. That'll look nice all sprayed up. Put the fuel cap back on. Okay. So the first micro switch, it be hidden. Right, it's hidden down here. Let me show you. Let me show Vi. So, first micro switch, let me get a pointer. There we go. First micro switch is located here, just there. See that looks like a plunger? When you pull the dead man's handle, this arm here, this goes towards the back, and it will make contact with that little tiny plastic bit there. Push that plunger in, and that's your micro switch just there. Okay. So that's one of a dead man's handle. Now there's actually two on here, like I said, and not many lawnmowers have them. Some Hondas have them. But if we swing this round, you spin me right round, baby, right round. Right, now we're going to take this carby off. Turn that fuel off first, Mickey Mouse. We're going to take this air box off. Two of those. But put them in took parts tray. So don't lose no bits and bobs. I'm going to get a pair of forceps out. So I'm just going to stem that fuel flow. Like that. Now I can remove this airbox cover, take that round, give it a twist and remove that breather pipe. That breather pipe goes on there, onto there. Right. Breather pipe off, gasket off. Always remember, little tiny gasket. There's a little tiny level bit there. It's level. That goes at the bottom. Right. Goes in the parts tray. Right, now your next dead man switch. See, there's a wire. Let me show you. See, there's a wire coming. There's two wires, one here and one here. Right, both of these come off the coil, the pair of them. Right, this one here, the bigger one, that'll go up and round and down there, and that goes off round to the other switch I just showed you. But this one here also comes off the coil and onto a little tiny micro switch, which will be hidden down in the yonder. But if I operate the control, you'll see it. There it is there. You'll see it there. See how it starts to move? So it's on that rocker. At the bottom of that rocker, there will be a little tiny switch down there, which will help operate. I think it's on the back of that one there. But if you just took these two bolts off here and here, those two, you can get to that switch. There's a switch, just it's there. It's mounted there. Look, see where that little tab is. So as you operate it, that little bit there, move that breather pipe. See how that there? Now, if I bring that down to idle, that go forward. So you go forward. Now that's not actually made contact yet, but that's where it makes contact there. So the little tiny micro switch is hidden behind here. Now I think he tried starting this lawnmower up with the throttle closed. That's what I think. If that's choke, that's all the way forward. That's about full throttle. That's idle, and that shuts it off. So if your coil has two wires coming off of it, it's simple. Just follow your wires, and it'll tell you where your micro switches are. But either way, we're going to get onto a carburetor clean because it is hunting and besurging. So on a pair of long nose pliers, I'm going to pull the throttle bit open. Let me just zoom it in just a little tiny bit, just so you guys get a bit of a better look at it. Right, there you go. A bit closer for you. I'm going to remove the throttle control bar and the spring. That comes off, right? You then got your choke, which is going to be this one here. How's that going to sit on there? That's a flipped up one, isn't it? Goes all the way down there onto there. I'll try and remove this without mucking about with it too much. I'm going to remove this this fuel line. Take that off. I want to get a little tiny bit of fuel spillages. Let me get a rag down because I don't want to ruin this deck. It's quite a nice little deck for what it is. Not a bad machine, the old Webb, so okay. So now I'm going to try and retract this off now. See how far we can go. There's a gasket behind there. Let me come all the way off, Mick. Yeah, it will. All the way off, and then keep hold of your choke up and round and off. And that comes off like that. Super duper. Starship Trooper. Right, let's get a cloth up on here, and then we'll go for carburetor clean. Rightio. So carburetor up on bench. Got a little gasket behind there. I'm gonna try and leave that be best I can. Don't really want to upset that. If I can help it, it might come off. Let's have a little look. It might want to. I just don't want to upset it. So there you go. That's come off. Lovely. Right. So I'll get my impact. Gonna rock this 10mm off of here. And notice I'm tipping the carburetor up onto its side, because what I want to do, I want to see if there's any dirt and stuff in here. Alright, let's have a look inside. Oh man, it's really, really clean. okay, but one thing in there I can see, let me pull a bit out if I can. Yeah. In there is water. So we've got water right down the bottom corner. Let me find a little tiny pointer for you. So I'll show you the water. The water is there. See that there? That's all water down in there. I know it's water because that probably sit on top of a rag. You can see it. That was water in there. So that's part of the reason why we know this machine's either been stored outside or it's got wet at some point or it's been exposed. Okay. So the bulb is actually really, really clean. That bit of problem we've got with the old ethanol fuel. So remove a needle and float, take that off, and inside here will be a little tiny main jet. See that in there? It's a little tiny flathead in there. Right in there. Right. Flathead screwdriver. Make sure you get one that fits really nice. Oh, it's loose. Not loose, but it's lovely. Come out nice. So we're just going to remove that little main jet all the way out. Give it a tap. There's the main jet just there, right? That didn't come out there, did it? What was that? Where'd that come from? Maybe on top, I don't know. Right. Next thing we're going to do, inside here there'll be a little tiny brass emulsion tube. It comes up through here, it's sitting in there, see? All the way through the centre and sits in the middle here. What you want to do is just get a screwdriver and push down, give it a good tap, and out comes the emulsion tube. Okay? When you put the emulsion tube back in, the narrow end, this end, that end goes in first. Okay? We've got a slow idle circuit here as well. So I'm going to remove that one. Take that screw off, get rid of that. And then a pair of flathead screwdriver. We're going to lift that up gently. Now there's O-rings on it, go careful guys. Alright, now look inside there, is that clean? Yeah, it's clean. This is quite a clean machine. This is quite a clean machine. Right, next thing I want is some gas tip needle files and some micro drills. Okay, we're going to do a slow idle circuit first. Now the micro drill bits, I find the smallest one, and for me it's a pink one, right, on my set. Grab this pink one, and we're going to push that right inside that brass hole just there. Right, now that's blocked. Okay, I can feel it because my finger's not going through. I'm going to push through that and push through. Now you can actually see it's actually now sat inside. Okay, but that, my friends, was blocked. Yes, it was. Oh, yes, it was. But now it's not. I know it's not. And that will make all the difference. I'm telling you, that will make all the difference. I could probably put this back together now, and that would be enough. Right. That's the truth of it. Let me grab some WD-40. I'm using carb cleaner on this because these little tiny O-rings, they like to expand on these slow idle circuits. So what you're watching for, you're watching for fluid come out of this hole just here. That's what you're watching for. Nice and gently. There you go. See how it come out of that hole? There it goes. Lovely jubbly. Right, that's that one clean. I'll put my micro drill bit back now because that's used. You don't need that no more. You can find them in my comment section under tools that I use. Tools that I use, there'll be a link there. If you follow the link, it'll take you to some of the tools I use. Now on here, we've got a main jet, and that main jet, although it is unblocked, and it is unblocked, it is slightly restricted. Okay, so I'm going to find a nice little needle nose. That's lovely. And I'm going to apply some sideways pressure. Now I'm pushing down on the file. I'm rotating that round. I'm just cleaning the walls of the main jet up. I'm just taking the ethanol back off of them walls. That's all I'm doing. I'm not actually opening the hole up any by taking brass material off. I'm not applying that amount of pressure, but I am literally just opening it back up. Now, I'll give that a tiny squirt of WD-40. That should run through there nice. Yeah, it does. Yeah. And now, blow that off. And now you better see in there. Let me blow it out. Now you better see there's a nice big hole in there now. See? Yeah, see that? Nice big hole. Good. Let's get my needle files back. Get a small one. And we're just going to, every single hole that's on me here, we're going to poke. There's a real small one just there. I can barely see it with a naked eye. The one just there. Right. We're going to poke that. And all these little tiny holes, stick his files in there. Now, if you haven't got his files, you can just use like a zip tie, freezer bag thing. You can use. I've heard people use them, but I like these little needle files because you can reuse them. They store away. They don't eat nothing. You ain't got to feed it. Not like Pip. Got to feed Pip all the time. She likes chicken. That dog does. That dog likes chicken. Alright. Or bacon. Likes bacon. Honestly, likes bacon. Right. So they're all done. Right. That's all done. Clean that up. Run it through. Right. So that is technically the bits for the carby now cleaned. Now I've got to clean the carb itself. So pretty much, if there's an hole, poke something in it. Alright. And just mind your eyes. Of course, I'm wearing eye protection. Right. Anywhere there's an hole, one in there somewhere, put it in there, fill it up, and just run liquid in there. And all we're doing is just encouraging. Are you whinging at me, Pip? I heard that. Now, I'm not going to take this tap off. I'm going to leave the tap for now. That might bite me in the bum later on. Right. That's flowing really nice. Right, that's done. I'm happy with that. We can now reassemble. To reassemble, get your emulsion tube, narrow ending first, stick him in, get your main jet, whip right way up so the flat head is actually a bit of dirt there. Flat head is facing upwards. Push that in there. Get your flathead screwdriver. Make sure it's clean. Do him up, nice and gently. That's binding. If it's not quite right, you come back out and go again. All right. Don't just force them in there. That don't feel right. That's not biting right. Is that going to go? Yeah, it's going to go. Right. There it goes. Screw that main jet down. And it's got to be well seated. There. I'm going to get a needle on float. And that goes into all in there. Is that a tiny hole? Oh, there. Go all the way down in there. See him in. Float pin. Just line that up. It only go one way, I expect. Go on, baby. Don't muck me about. That goes in there. We put the float bowl on. Now, as I've always said, yeah, flooding bolt opposite to your main feed. Right? Put it on there. Now, I'm going to nick that up with a screwdriver with a 10mm in a minute, okay? But I want to put my my slow idle circuit in first. I'm only going one way or two ways. It's got to be flat side like that, okay? Get a screw, put them in there, start it off by hand, and then you want that, screw it in, so there's 3 threads, 2 or 3 threads hanging out the other side of it, out of this bit here. Don't put it in, wind it up. Starting to come through. 1 thread, 2 threads, that'd be enough. Right, that's plenty. I'm going to get the 10mm spanner, which would be here, and nick that up. And what I said, flood opposite the main feed. Put it in like that. Nick him up. Now, make sure it's well seated. Done. That took me exactly 9 minutes 37 seconds, and I was talking and waffling, right? So that's how long it takes you. So let me get reset up. I'll come back to you in 2 seconds. Right, so we're all now set up this end. Let's bring this lawnmower a bit closer. Lovely job. Right, we now want to refit this carby. Don't forget we had a gasket, didn't we? We had a little gasket here. Now there will be a hole on this gasket. See that hole there? That hole just there. That's got to line up that hole there. So put that on. It goes on like that. And hook your choke up now as well. Hook that choke up, otherwise you won't be able to do it later on. A bit of a pickle line on this lot up. Let me get there. That's it. Right, and it all goes. Choke button's gone on. I know. Hook your fuel line on right now. Put that on now and turn your fuel line off. And then swivel your throttle arm round. push that in. That's gone in first time, lovely. And there'll be another little spring here somewhere. Here it is. That little spring. That little spring, so a tiny hole. Just there. That's got to go. Ooh, yeah, nearly had it. Nearly had it first time then, guys. Let's go with it. Oh, I can't even see it. Let me get a pair of long nose pliers. Don't worry, I need glasses. I might go get my eyes tested, I think. Can't quite get it in there. There it goes. Alright. How goes back? We like that. Now we had another little gasket, didn't we? Remember the gasket I said we've got a tiny flat edge to it. Little flat edge. There, like that. That goes on there. Boom. Air box, boom. And crankcase breather. Crankcase breather with a little tiny tube. A little tiny pipe just down in here. Stick that on first. Oh, we're going to go one way, I suppose. Yeah. That on first. And the second bit goes on this bit of pipe just here. Sit him on, and then line up your air box. That one goes in, and just before you button it down, just make sure everything is where it needs to be. Right. Right. You can then get your impact or spanner, whatever it is you use, and then we're gonna zip that up. Number one setting. I don't want to be talking them right up because you can shear these. So just snug them down. That'd be lovely. So one quick little check, make sure we're going to just take off the fuel clamps. They're done. And whilst I'm yapping to you, I'm going to turn the fuel on. So that way, if you get any fuel leaks, it become present now before I take it outside. And have to bring it all the way back in just to sort it out. So I'll get my air gun. I'm going to blow off some grass. I'm going to give that a Micks Mowers happy birthday. Guys, I'll ask me, Mick, what is it you use to make your mowers look so shiny? That stuff. WD-40. I soak it in WD-40. Right, like that. I'll just let that sit on there for a bit. And then I'll just wipe that off. So just let it sit there. And one thing mainly just gets rid of all the dust particles. That's mainly what it does. I remember once I repaired one of his lawnmowers for someone, a friend of mine. Riley came out and sat on it just here and snapped a bit off. I remember that. Me and Riley, we laughed for about 3 days about that. Right. So now, just a quick little wipe down. See how much cleaner that looks. Ding. See? Now, isn't that clean? Just a quick little dab of WD-40 just brings them up. Brings them up, makes them look like new. Or use a clean lacquer, a clear lacquer. But compared to how it looked earlier on, when I first got her in, she now looks lush. But what I'm going to do is it's got a cover here. I might spray that cover up satin black, which you'll see in a minute. Right, let's put this on. Fuel cap off. Oh, there. Sit that all down. Why not go down? There's a little tiny collar in there somewhere. There it is. I'll put a collar in. Better. Right. Come on, baby, sit down. There's one. Why don't you want to go on? That's it. Baby. Alright, that's that. I'm going to take a little screwdriver. I'm just going to push that down. Not quite sat down. My word, my word. Alright, try that. There you go. Have that, he says. Right, I've got 3 10mm to put on, haven't I? 3 little tiny 10mm. Hang on there. Yeah, I think I might spray that black. What do you think? I think that'll look better black, don't you? Yeah, I'm taking that back off. I'm going to spray that black. I'm going to get it sprayed black with a bit of satin black, funny enough. Once I've sprayed it satin black, I'll come back. That rhymes. Right, so I have just I've just sprayed that with a little tiny bit of satin black. It just buffs it up just a smidge. It's still very, very wet at the moment. It's drying nicely. It won't take long once it goes outside because it is an absolutely beautiful day out here today. Pip, you stop your whinging. It's a beautiful day out here on the old south coast. So we're going to run them down. That's nice. Right. So apart from the blade needs to be done and the oil's got to be done, all that sort of stuff has yet to be done. I'm going to take it outside and give it a run. So what I want now to do is to run, idle, and not hunt and surge. If it does all of those things, I can then bring it back in and do the rest of the work that I like to do on these machines, which would be an oil change, a spark plug, which would be a NGK, I think it's a 6ES on these. It'd be an NGK R BR6ES on these. Okay, that's what will be going into there. Overhead valve. Pull cord is brand new because you put a new pull cord assembly on it. That's no drama. So you're good to go. So let me meet you outside and then we'll have a quick little fire up, see if it now doesn't run as it should do. Hopefully the hunting surge is now gone. And we'll have a tidy little lawnmower. Okie dokie. Let me go and grab that mower off the old stand. Let my dog out for a quick wee. Hi Pip. Have a wee, darling. Come here. Come here. You. Come here. You're tired. You had a little sleep. You should have a little snooze. Come here. Let me just let you untie you. Get you out of there. All right, where you go. Come on, girl. Off she goes. She wants a wee. Let me just drop my table down. I'm not into lifting mowers no more. Them days are gone. Drop the old table down. What's happened there? That's should on a bit further than that, Micks. Oh, I see. Yeah, my table pins were down the wrong way. Let me lift them up and flick them over the other way. That's better. All right, now go down. Down it goes. Lovely job. And we'll now take the mower off the table and bring it out to you guys. All right. All right. One mower. Let me find a grass bag for that. Here's. No, he actually bought a bloke said he bought a brand new grass bag and a brand new recoil for this mower. Only to find out it had no spark. But as you've seen, it has got a spark. I just think it didn't operate the throttle control. That's what I think happened. All right, it goes on there. So make sure you're in shot. Make sure you can see what we're doing. No, you can't see. Here you go. Let's bring it down a much. Bring it down. It's down at a level. There you go. Some of that. How's that look? All right, better. Right. So now, you'll want to start, run, idle, no hunting, surging, all that sort of good stuff. Let's put on a decent height control, which is all the way up, nice and high. So, fuel turned on, Mick. Yeah, we did that in the shed, didn't we? Right. So onto choke, all the way back. Pull that in. Give that a tug. Right, off a choke. About there. Does it slow down? No, it don't. So you see that here, how it's sharp, let's see. So it's one continuous rev, but that's choke. You hear it. Off a choke, just to there. So now it's not hunting surging. Power drive works. Yeah, not a bad little mower. Not a bad little mower at all. Quite happy with that. It looks tidy. It's clean. And it runs. And no hunting and surging, that's the main thing. Yeah, nice. Both wheels drive? Yeah, they do. Alright, so we're happy. Little lawnmower, but he said to me there was no spark. Turns out, I think, didn't have the throttle control turned on. That's what I think went wrong with that. Put a comment in the comment section what you think happened. But apart from that, we're done. Right, so that's that little lawnmower now done, finished, and all running. Thank you. And it's not hunting and surging or doing anything it shouldn't do. So we're happy with that, aren't we, Pip? Pip's been very happy. She's out in the garden, chasing the ball and just pretty much sunbathing. Living a life of a proper little princess, isn't you, darling? So yeah, I think the gentleman actually, I think he didn't have that throttle control open. That was the biggest problem. I think that's what it was. He had the throttle control shut off, which means the spark plug wasn't getting a signal to spark. And it would never start. And that's why he said to me, no spark issue. Sit down, darling. Sit down. Sit. Thank you. So leave that alone. No, that's my anti-wind thing on my mic. But that's not for eating. So yeah, super happy about all in all. So just got to do a quick little oil change on that. I'll whip the plug out, put a new plug in now. Got one there, and sharpen the old blade up. Good to go. So happy with that. So if you like the video, Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. Get off. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video. I look forward to the next episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But to you guys, much more importantly, take it easy. Pip, get down and have a walk. Okay, get down. Outside. There you go.